Hello, everyone. Skip Montreux here. You are about to listen to a sample of a Down to Business English members only episode. In this episode, Dez Morgan and I report on Dr. Copper, an economic tool that is not well known outside the world of finance and economics. We will discuss the meaning of this term and how this tool is used by economists and investors. Our goal at Down to Business English is to help you learn and retain business English by reporting on current business news stories and teaching useful words, phrases, and expressions that are related to those headlines. In order for us to produce this type of authentic English learning material that you just won't find in a business English classroom or textbook, we rely on the support of listeners like you. If you find Down to Business English useful in your English studies, if you find the topics and the business stories that we report on educational and interesting, if the words and phrases we explain in the Down to Vocabulary portion of the show are helping you with your business English, well, support what we do by becoming a D2B member today. Just go to d2benglish.com/membership to sign up. That's D, the number 2, B, English.com/membership. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy this sample of a D2B members-only episode.
From Tokyo, Japan, and Changsha, China, this is Down to Business English with your hosts, Skip Montreux and Dez Morgan.
Dez Morgan, good to be back with you.
Hi, Skip.
How is life treating you?
Not so bad.
Good to hear.
I was quite busy there for a while with the exam season at my university, but fortunately I got through everything and my workload has tailed off a bit. In fact, I even managed to take a weekend off and make a trip to Xi'an.
Xi'an, why does that sound familiar to me?
It's the capital of Shanxi province in central China, about 3 hours from Changsha by plane.
Would that be the same place where they discovered those terracotta warrior statues?
Actually, they're more sculptures, not statues, but you are right. The famous terracotta army is indeed located in Xi'an.
And you were able to see them?
I was, and I have to say they are mighty impressive. Did you know that these sculptures date back to 200 BCE?
Over 2,000 years, wow! That is some ancient history.
Xi'an was also the starting point of the original Silk Road trade route. In fact, trade from Xi'an to the west and vice versa dates all the way back to 130 BCE.
I was not aware of that. So, Xi'an has always been an international city. Fascinating stuff.
It is. We have a tendency to think of international trade as a relatively new phenomenon, but it's been around a lot longer than we think.
I suppose so. But I think it is fair to say that international markets today are more interconnected than at any point in history.
That's certainly true. And equally true is that the health of an economy in one part of the world can affect economies on the other side of the globe. Much more so than back in the Silk Road days.
Good point. So, Dez, broadly speaking, how would you say the world economy is doing at the moment?
That is a huge question with no easy answer. But luckily, there is someone we can ask.
Oh? And who would that be?
None other than Dr. Copper.
Dr. Copper? I have no idea who that would be.
You're not familiar with Dr. Copper? I'm surprised. Many experts use Dr. Copper as a tool to evaluate the health of the world economy.
Would this be our business topic today?
It would.
Sounds interesting. I have never heard of this Dr. Copper before.
Then let's do it. Let's get D2B down to business with Dr. Copper. How copper prices reflect global economic health.
So, Des, who is this elusive Dr. Copper that I have never heard of?
Dr. Copper is not a who. He, or rather I should say it, is a what.
Now I am super confused. How can a what be a doctor?
Nah, I was just being tricky. Dr. Copper is an economic term that refers to how the price of copper can be used to predict the overall health of the global economy.
Would there be Dr. Silver or Dr. Aluminum as well?
No, there wouldn't. You see, copper is unique in that it has so many industrial uses. It's an essential component in construction, manufacturing, transportation, and electronics.
I see. And because copper is such a diversely used commodity, its price can be an indicator of how the world economy is doing.
Exactly. The rise and fall of copper prices can signal shifts in the global economy.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
I'm glad you agree.
So when did this Dr. Copper get his or her PhD, so to speak?
Do you mean when did the price of copper start being used as an economic indicator?
That's exactly what I'm asking.
The nickname Dr. Copper was coined in the early 20th century by economists who recognized the metal's unique ability to diagnose economic health.
What about other commodities like oil or gold? You'd think oil would be a good indication of how the economy is doing.
Gold and oil are also used as indicators, but copper stands out for its widespread use and versatility across industries.
Got it. And does it work? Does Dr. Copper give an accurate indication of the economy?
You have to remember that copper is a commodity, and just like any other commodity, its price is affected on both the supply and demand side.
So what you are saying is if there is a problem on the supply side and the price of copper goes up, it is not necessarily an indicator of a strong economy.
Not necessarily, no.
Because regardless of a high price, demand could still be low.
And that is exactly what happened in 2011. Copper prices were at an all-time high, but the world economy...
I hope you enjoyed that sample of a D2B members-only episode. Thank you very much for listening. To listen to the full episode and to support D2B, just go to d2benglish.com/membership and become a D2B member today. One more time, that's D, the number 2, B, English.com/membership. On behalf of Des, Samantha, and myself, we thank you for your support.
Down to Business English. Business news to improve your business English.